Hey, this is Rachel Simmons from Rollins College, and I'm going to show you how to make an exposed stitch book. This book has 4 signatures, and they're attached to the cover using a running stitch. The pages were printed on a provisional press using orphaned letterpress type and a foam plate cut on the Cricut Maker. You'll want to gather these tools and materials. The instructions can be found in Making Handmade Books by Alisa Golden. This structure is described in a step-by-step. For the most part, this tutorial follows the steps from Making Handmade Books with a few variations. If you have a cradle for punching holes, that's great, but you can also make do without one. You'll need bone folder, knife, scissors, needles, thread, ruler, and of course your paper cut to size. After you cut your text and cover papers, you'll want to prepare the signature and the cover. Begin by folding your text weight paper in half to create folios. You'll want to fold enough so that you have 16 pages, and you'll nest those 16 pages into folios of 4. So you'll have 4 sets of 4. When your nested folios are assembled, be sure to crease well on the edges to make the folios nice and flat. The next step is to measure the spine for the cover. You can use this shortcut from The Art of the Fold, which asks you to measure the width of your folded pages and then transfer that width to the left and right sides of your cover sheet. You can see an example of this here. I'm measuring 1/2 inch on the right and 1/2 inch on the left, and I'm folding over to meet those marks. The next shortcut involves creating a jig. A paper jig is a template for punching holes. So you need a strip of paper that's the height of your folio, and you want to fold it in half. Set it up along your ruler, and then measure 1/2 inch in from the left and 1/2 inch in from the right. And you can space your 2 center holes out from there. On the left mark, move to the right 1 inch and make a second mark. On the right mark, move to the left and make a second mark. You should have 4 fairly evenly spaced holes. Place them inside the cradle and use an awl to punch holes through the jig. You should see them on the other side. The next step is to place the jig into the folio. Just do 1 nested folio set at a time and punch through. It's really important to secure the jig and to make sure you orient it in the same direction for each and every folio that follows. To accomplish this, you can mark the top of the jig with a T for top, so you're sure to put it in the same place every time. Also, using a paper clip to secure the jig to the folio is really helpful to keep things from sliding around. If you don't have a wooden cradle for punching holes, you can do this on a tabletop. You just want to be sure that the holes get punched directly through the folded edge, not to the left or to the right of it. Next, we're going to use the holes on the folios to draw horizontal lines across the spine of the cover. We want to have these lines just on the spine, on the inside of the cover, and we're going to cut slits into those lines after we've drawn them. You do want to take care to make sure that the lines are perfectly perpendicular with the edge of the folio before you start cutting. Use a sharp blade and definitely use the edge of a ruler to keep your lines straight as you cut through. And again, just cut through the spine piece, not through the adjacent cover pieces. When you're ready to start sewing, secure your folios with a binder clip inside of the cover so they remain lined up with the slits that you cut. When you're ready to start sewing, grab an arm's length of linen thread and a needle with a large eye. If you have any trouble threading the needle, if you cut the tip of it at an angle with a pair of scissors, it can be easier to get it through the eye. Once you've pulled it through, you want to sew the needle back into the thread. So put it face down. I usually flatten it out with my thumbnail. I stab it with the needle and then pull the needle through the thread itself. And that allows the needle to stay securely on your thread as you sew. One more tip before you start sewing is to go back through your folios and make sure that the holes are big enough for your needle. You can re-punch using an awl or a paper punch, just making sure that you'll be able to get the needle in easily. You're going to start on the outside of the cover, go through the top slit and into the first signature. Leave a couple of inches of tail outside the cover and secure it to the cover using your binder clip. Go inside the next hole and out through the signature and out through the slit and back in. So you're going to create what's called a running stitch, going in and out of holes until you come to the end. At this point, you're going to tie your first French knot, which means you wrap the thread twice around the needle, secure it to the needle with your hands, and then go through the cover. And as you pull it through, that knot will form on the outside. It looks just like a little nub. Follow the steps carefully in the instructions in Handmade Books and follow this pattern of creating a running stitch in and out of each signature to attach. You want to make sure that your threads are tight, but not so tight they'll rip the paper as you continue to add signatures in this way. You'll start to see the outside of the spine develop the long threads that are the exposed stitch portion of the structure as you go. Take your time. If you have trouble pulling your needle through, you may consider re-punching some of your holes. Keep in mind that your needle wants to get tangled on the binder's clip, and it's good to take breaks so that you don't feel frustrated. Also, feel free to practice the French knot, just on a piece of paper before you get started. At a few points in the structure, you're going to add a kettle stitch. The kettle stitch is a kind of a loop that you do under and over a previous stitch to secure one signature to the previous signature. It takes a little bit of practice, and diagrams are helpful, so be sure to refer to your instructions. And here's the kettle stitch one more time. At the end of the book, when you've attached the fourth signature, pull your thread out of the cover, snip it, and attach it to the original loose end that you left from the beginning using a square knot. A square knot is simply like tying your shoes the way you normally would, and then tying a second knot in the opposite way. Add a small drop of PVA to the knot to secure it, and you are finished. Admire your work and be proud of yourself. You made something. Yay!